unfortunately, South Asian community members, they are not taking part in the election process very, very actively, but there are some people who are taking part and taking this as subject to the very, very seriously. Your voice can only be heard when you vote or take part in the democratic process. You go and how can suppose you have a problem and you are not taking part in the election process. How will you approach your member parliament of your area and put forward your complaint or your issues? What I suggest that and what I have noticed is that most of the South Asians, they don't go to polling stations and vote. I have been saying it, as I said earlier, that they should take part. They should elect the candidate of their choice. It doesn't matter that whether you like Conservative Party or Liberal Party or NDP. But the basic thing is that you should exercise your right of vote. You must go to the polling station, vote for any candidate that you like. But South Asians, they're lacking in this field. Democracy is the only system in the world. Other systems, people have tried, but they have failed. But democracy is the only system. And Canada, luckily, that Canada has a very strong democratic system. We have very strong democratic institutions. So all those who have opted for Canada, they have to realize that they are living in a democratic country and they have to support and believe in democracy. And I think most of the newcomers, they understand this and they are taking part in election process. Their participation may not be at very large level, but they are slowly and gradually they are becoming a part of this democratic system, and they have to, because if you are in a democratic country, you have to be. And as people say that do in Canada, as the Canadians do. Unfortunately, I think the newcomers, they concentrate more on their rehabilitation or looking for the job, and they don't think much about the election process here in Canada. But the fact remains that they come, most of the people, they come from democratic countries. I mean, for example, India has the largest democracy. Sri Lanka, there could be some people who might be supporting their candidate on the basis of their religion or culture or language, whatever. But there are very few people. In Canada, that system is not working. The people, and I mean, a lot of people are involved in an election for any parliament member or provincial assembly member. So that is not working in Canada, and the people are gradually coming up and thinking to take part in the election process, and they are taking part. And if you talk to so many MPs, they will tell you that they are newcomers, or they are not Canadian born, and they created a place for themselves. Large the people are now trying to understand that they have to take part in the election process or in the democratic process in Canada, because you are living in a democratic society. And this is the responsibility of the ethnic newspapers or the media, that they should make it very, very clear or make repeated in announcement that irrespective of your party affiliation, you must go to polling station and vote for candidate of your choice. So they need some kind of education, they need it, and that is why the government has been placing ads in the newspapers before the election that look, the elections will take part on such and such date, and these are the facilities. And I think they should go on their own. But I think you don't need much money, as you know, there's a limitation for expenditures. But if you are a party candidate, some funds are allocated, and the party gives you support. And then there are other systems that you can raise funds for your election campaign up to a point. And the limit has been specified in the election rules and all. Talking about the performance of the parliamentarians or the ward councillors, I think everybody is doing very well, and whosoever is elected, we have seen that they are good people, and the constituents, they choose their best possible candidate, and they are delivering, and they are doing very well, because this democratic system is very strong in Canada. Election reforms are there are reforms which are brought about from time to time, but I think in the three-tier system, that is municipality and the provincial election or the federal election, I think the system is okay, and I don't feel that any reform is needed on urgent basis. Canada elections are fair. All elections are open contest. Everybody has a right to contest. I mean, every citizen has a right to contest. And by and large, the candidates win election on the basis of their merit, on their performances. It is open to everybody, because the better candidate wins. It doesn't matter that whether they come from the visible minority or from the mainstream. You see, it is the candidate who wins, not the. If you think that, suppose if I say that I'm a Pakistani, or somebody says that I'm an Indian, you cannot win election on the basis of Indian population, and it is not necessary that all the Indians will vote for an Indian, or Pakistanis will vote for a Pakistani candidate. No, that is not an Canadian system. Here, people judge the candidate, and that is why debates are held, discussions are held, and by and large, people view and study their program.